Hello, Alexander from Maxwell Alexander Gallery. I'm at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City, and we're asking artists what their favorite painting is.
Hi, my name is Len Chmiel, and this is a Frederic Remington, and one of my favorite, very favorite artists, period. And this painting in particular has such a presence for me. It is so mystery-inducing, like, what is it that this lonesome Native American out here in the middle of nowhere is wondering? And it's beautifully rendered. The drawing is beautiful. The color is absolutely perfect, and the textures are wonderful. It's a complete painting, and if it was on my wall, I'd probably spend most of my day looking at it, because I'd never be able to solve how he did all this stuff in one painting.
Does painting influence your work in any way, or are you just a fan of it?
It makes me want to paint better. It makes me look at my drawing to see if it's really accurate. It doesn't have to be precise, but it has to be accurate. And drawing for me encompasses anything with a brush, because you're painting and drawing with a brush all the time. And this really epitomizes everything, all those elements for me. So the composition is wonderful, the way he's been isolated, the attitude of that pack horse, or the foal, actually. I guess it's almost a full-grown horse, but it's just everything. Just looking askance like that. This one sort of in sync with its rider. Everything about the painting just kills me. So.
Can you talk about the composition a little bit? It's such a simplified painting.
Well, yeah, there's this, the background is the dry plains. I mean, the composition, you can't escape being led into something that's inescapable anyway. And even though the central figure is in the center of the painting, it doesn't feel like it because of the way he's composed everything else. It's the sort of thing that he did beautifully. He would violate the supposed painting rules of composition, but did it so sneakily that you don't realize you're looking at something that's violating the rules. Such as they are, which is something I like to do myself. So,
right. So
but subtle little bits, like there's no other shadows like this in the whole painting, but they're also part of this lead-in. It gives you more of the sense of that late afternoon light.
And that shadow pulls your eye back in here and up through.
Sure, yeah. You can't escape it. The way it ends right there at the top, that shadow ends. You know how close this is without any real textural changes to speak of. All of the little details that matter, these little specks of color, the shadows disappear as it gets up. It's just everything. It's just right. I was going to say, when you get up close to it from here, it looks like he's rendered everything so very precisely. And what it is precise drawing. You look up there and you go, huh? It looks like that should be, like little tiny brush strokes and little sharp edges, but they're not. I mean, this arm disappears into the background, or vice versa, the background sky. Those are soft edges, but the drawing is impeccable. I mean, how can you, if that's not an Aboriginal head, I don't know what is. That's a Aborigine, man. So,
and even the highlights, just
I mean, the reflected light coming off of probably it's coming off of here on this horse, but the textures, the color variations between the warms and cools in there, just a little bit, and those are cooler cools than the warms in the shadows over here. It just kills me. Over here, where he's taking the shadows and made them bright because they're against this skull of this, of this other, the skull, the whiteness of the skull. And then back here making them darker. They shouldn't be quite that dark and wouldn't be in real life, but again, it's pulling all this stuff and supporting that whole composition. I could go on for a while, but you know, the color in the shadows, little flecks of warmth to.
Is this one of your favorite paintings of all time, or is this one of your favorite Remingtons?
I mean, Remington, there are several. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for being as good with everything. I mean, he to me, he was a really complete artist. I wish he had lived longer, you know, because there's no telling what he would have come up with. He was going more and more modern in his later life, but he died when he was 48 years old, for God's sake. If I'd have done that when I was 48, I would have just probably just collapsed, you know. So, with joy, yeah, this.
Yeah, and this is what, 1907.
Yeah, 1907.
Yeah, it's pretty modern for that time.
Very modern for
Yeah.
that time. He thought about everything in the painting. There's no waste. There's no, oh my gosh, I hope this works out. He's making it work out. The whole painting makes everything works in this thing. And as it does in just about everything else he did from that period on, you know, the later part of his life.
Yeah.
You can just feel it. And one of the things I try to do with my own painting is the sense of place. You know, everybody says that, but I mean, the real, what it feels like to me. You know, I'm not trying to say, oh yeah, this is a big old desert, you know. It's that particular sense that I get that describes the desert or wherever it is that I'm working in. And that just absolutely has the sense of being there. You know, I could be standing here looking right at that guy, that model, and the thing is, he did these things in the studio, you know, but he was out here and he felt it, and he was able to translate it into reality into paint. So
Yeah.
it's kills me. So, all right, that's enough. God, yakety yak. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's stuff, you know, it's like that little bit of leather kind of fluffed off in the breeze, and just floating out there in the middle of nowhere. It's just all those little bits. Oh. It's impressionistic because of the detail and the way he handled the paint. And it's amazing how he retains the freshness of this thing. It's like George Carlson does the same thing. You know, he gets the freshness into something that is so thoughtful and has taken so long for him to get there. I get the same feeling.
If this is 1907, and we're looking at portraiture and work that was done in the 1800s, would have been so much more realistic. And if, like, where did this feels so fresh, especially for the time. Even for today, it feels fresh.
It is.
You know.
It is fresh for today.
Yeah.
You know, it's timeless. I think, you know, if we're going to put it in a category.
Yeah.
The subtlety, the value changes. You know, it just goes on and on. So,
Great. Thank you so much, Len.
all the elements of a good anything are there. It's just a very thoughtful piece that comes off beautifully. So.
Perfect. Thank you, Len.
You bet.